This is the all-new 2022 Nissan Pathfinder Platinum all-wheel drive. And guess what? Breaking news! No more CVT! With this Pathfinder, Nissan is going towards its original roots, making it tougher and more rugged than the really soft outgoing model. The updated design with the new face and the new Nissan emblem, the headlights and daytime running lights are now LED, however the indicator lights are not. It has huge 20-inch wheels, a simple yet sleek side profile, and a modern rear end with haunches that stick out. The interior is also much nicer than before. It has lots of leather-covered surfaces and a lot of plush materials. But despite that though, over bumps, there are lots of rattles and unwanted soundtracks coming from all over the place, so the really good Bose sound system has a double role to play, also acting as a noise cancellation system. Ergonomically, it's all easy to reach, use, understand. It has big, clearly labeled buttons, and simplicity is key here. The instrument cluster is a 12.3-inch screen with nice graphics and customizable content. It looks really nice, and the infotainment system has a smaller 9-inch screen with a decent native system. It supports wireless Apple CarPlay, it has a wireless charger, but it only supports wired Android Auto. It also has plenty of USB ports and regular plugs. The really funny thing about the Pathfinder is how many cup holders and storage bins it has. I mean, it's insane. Up here you have 2 cup holders, you have 2 on each door on the side, and then 2 on the rear panels like inside the trunk for the 3rd row. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's probably very family friendly, so if you have babies, like you need one for the milk, one for the water, one for, I don't know, apple juice, or, you know, if you go camping, you can have one for whiskey, one for gin, one for vodka, whatever floats your boat. The front seats are very comfortable. They support the body really well. The driving position is excellent, so is visibility, and the front seats are also heated, ventilated, and the steering wheel is also heated. Really good stuff. In this layout, as you can see, there's 2 captain chairs in the middle row. They have plenty of legroom, footroom, and headroom. The seats also slide for fine-tuning the positioning, and the center console is removable. Oh, and by the way, it also has another 2 cup holders. To access the 3rd row, you just press a button on the seat, and it automatically slides forward, keeping its form. So if you have a car seat installed, you won't need to remove it. To fold the seat flat, you just pull this handle, and voila, easy peasy. The 3rd row can be totally fine for adults as long as the people in the 2nd row slide a bit forward to open up some legroom. The trunk with all seats up is 470 liters. It also has extra storage underneath. It's not bad at all, but if you stow the 3rd row, it becomes a massive 1,274 liters. Under the hood, this new Pathfinder has a 3.5 liter V6 from the VQ family. It's naturally aspirated, it makes 284 horsepower, and 259 pound-feet of torque, and it's made it to a 9-speed automatic transmission with paddle shifters and of course intelligent all-wheel drive. Pedal to the metal, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour comes in 7.8 seconds, and that's the first indication that performance is not its cup of tea. To be perfectly honest, if you redline it all the time, it's fine, but if you drive it normally, you do feel the lack of torque, and it genuinely feels slow. I mean, especially if you have driven something else with a turbocharged motor, which, you know, that surge of torque from the turbocharger is not here, so you really need to work the engine hard to get the most out of it. I mean, it's not bad once you actually really mean it and you give her, but if you don't, under normal circumstances, it doesn't feel very powerful. Also, 6th gear and on are all overdrive gears, so gearing doesn't help either. On the go, it picks up speed eventually, so unless you have a really heavy foot and like driving hard, you won't really be bothered by the lack of power, since this heavy thing isn't meant to be driven hard in the first place. The transmission in general is pretty good. I mean, it's good enough to go unnoticed, it shifts fine, I have no complaints whatsoever. The interesting thing I noticed though, is that on the highway, if you try to manually downshift and, you know, the downshift goes pretty close to the red line, it will deny the shift. But then if you just leave it and drive and do a kick down, it does the shift that you want it to do. So it's like it doesn't trust you. It's really weird. The lack of power helps fuel economy for sure. This Pathfinder isn't as bad as I was expecting. In fact, it did 13 liters per 100 kilometers on average, which is totally acceptable for the class. And of course, it runs on regular grade gas. It has a lot of driving modes and off-road modes. which show you that Nissan wanted to make this Pathfinder a bit more utilitarian than before, or actually a lot more. It doesn't feel like an off-road animal, but with a towing capacity of 6,000 pounds in this trim, you can surely tow your trailer even over rougher terrain. Its road manners are actually really civilized. I mean, the steering feels great, the brake pedal also feels very nice, it feels sure-footed and safe on the road. I mean, it's genuinely free of surprises. It turns without much lean, it has grip to spare, and it takes quite some speed to challenge the tires. Of course, when you overdo it, understeer is what you get. It is front-wheel drive biased, but compared to, let's say, the Highlander, for example, it is sharper and feels more capable. The driving assistants aren't the best in the business. It kind of scared me a few times with where it wanted to position the car with the lane keep assist, so I didn't really use it. It's not terrible, but Hyundai and Kia, for example, do it much better. The important thing is that the suspension has been tuned very nicely over bumps. It's pretty comfortable, but not too soft. So if ultimate comfort is what you seek, a Highlander, especially the hybrid, or a Telluride will probably be a better bet for you. All in, I really like this Pathfinder, and at $54,398 for this top trim, it's not bad at all. Overall score is 7.8 out of 10 because of the rattling interior and the slight lack of power. I really do like this Pathfinder though. It's very easy to live with. I mean, it's the kind of car that you buy to haul your family around, and especially if you have like a cottage and you need something a little bit more rugged than, you know, the regular Pilot, Highlander, or whatever, I think this would be a really good option. Unless you really like the style of the Telluride and you just go for that. Nevertheless, if you decide to get one of these, you will not regret it. So please go ahead and test drive one if you like the idea of owning a Pathfinder. But that's all for today. If you like this video, please share it with your friends, subscribe, press the like button. Most importantly, till next time, be well. Perfect.